Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to Bottle Rocket. I'm Alena, joined by Maeve and Allan today. Hey guys, how are you?
We're good.
Okay, I think.
You've been watching the playoffs. What did you think of the last game? Do you think Tortorella made the right call?
What do you mean by the right call? What does that mean?
Well,
Right
the
call and what?
coach's challenge. Do you think he made the right decision by doing the coach's challenge?
Well, why would it be the wrong decision?
Because it might have cost them the game.
The fact of the matter was that the puck went over the line. It was a goal. Why would it be disallowed?
Well, the whistle, do you think it went in before or after the whistle?
I don't hear any whistle. All I know is that the puck went in, it was a goal, and they took it away from him. So in the post game, he said I would do that 10 out of 10 times, and I agree with him.
What about you, Allan? What do you think?
I think what I understood, it was a whistle blowing it dead. So they didn't see it go in until they reviewed it, and then they reviewed it. It was a lot of confusion from the referee who couldn't see.
My question is, what's the rush for what is the rush for the referee to disallow a goal? What is he getting, a bonus if you do it really quick? Why not try to wait and see what happens? The puck went over the line. It's a goal.
Have 100 cameras and review everything. Right. I agree. Wait and see. It was clearly open.
My answer to you, my dear Alena, is that the blame is with the referee or the referees, and we can't get them. They don't do a thing post game. That Tortorella has got these how many hundreds of media things, answered them. Said I do it 10 out of 10 times, right? So that answers that. Now, do we have a referee to say why I blew my whistle so fast? What is he going out for a pint after the game and he can't wait? I don't know. So my answer is blame the ref.
Fair enough.
It kind of sounded like he was a little cross with the media again after the game. During the post-game interview, he seemed a bit grumpy, which we've seen from him before when things aren't going particularly well.
I don't know. What's your point? Are you saying that he was bad with the media?
Not bad, but not as outgoing as he could be. You know, when they're winning.
If your team had the winning goal taken away from you by a referee who couldn't wait to blow his whistle, would you come on right after the game and be howdy-doody? No, you would be pissed off, which he was.
But he's a trained professional. Shouldn't he?
No. He's a coach of a team who just got, in his mind, a raw deal. So he's not going to do a handstand of joy. He's going to reveal his honest feeling. I would do that 10 over 10 times. Goodbye and good luck.
Do you think they're going to bounce back and win the next game?
I want them to win. I'm rooting for them. I said they'd win it in 4 straight, and if that goal counted, they would have won it in 4 straight. But okay, it doesn't matter. I'm hoping very much that they win. I'm a big fan of Tortorella and of Vegas, and of a guy who used to play for the Rangers, a guy named Howden, who's leading in scoring. How about that?
What's your take on that, Allan?
Brett Howden's story is remarkable. I mean, here's a guy the Rangers cast aside for nothing, really, a 4th-round pick and a player that never played. And here, Vegas has made him into a player. He's a role player, is taking advantage of every opportunity. He's leading the goals tally in the entire playoffs. It's pretty remarkable. I'm sure Torts has done something to unlock him. Similar to Keandre Miller with Carolina, like a player, again, the Rangers couldn't get right. He's found something. So the Howden story is, he's trending toward Conn Smythe. Who would have ever guessed that? a year or two ago. He's in the right system. He's playing the right way in that system, and he's there for the opportunities and burying them. I mean, he had both goals in what could have been a 2-0 game before it unraveled in the third in game 2. So I don't expect it to be any different next game.
I would like to bring up the situation with Claude Lemieux, a huge tragedy.
Yes.
And as I mentioned before we went on the air, that Réjean Tremblay, who is, I go back with Réjean Tremblay when he broke into the business a long time ago. He became certainly one of the most well-known, well-read columnists in the Francophone. Wrote for the one of the big French papers in Montreal. And what I read is that he suggested that one of the reasons why Claude Lemieux committed suicide was a broken heart because he never was voted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. My point is, why wasn't he? After his accomplishments, why wasn't this guy put in the Hall of Fame?
He certainly should have been.
Huh?
Yeah, he certainly should.
He absolutely should have been there. I was shocked to realize he wasn't in, actually. With all the playoff heroics he put forth. 2 cups with New Jersey and Montreal, and 4 cups total, and the amazing amount of game-winning goals and the heart and soul. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. The Hall of Fame often makes no sense, as we know. So bizarre and unfair.
Absolutely. The committee can be pretty political. You need people in your corner who are willing to nominate you and back you up. I don't know exactly what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if politics played a role.
Are you a member of that Cockamamie Association? Professional, huh?
I have been, but I it's minimal return. I have been just for appearances, but I don't even know what they achieve. It's a lot of nonsense. That
One could say that maybe it's a lot of nonsense, but if there's anything to what Tremblay says, then it's not a lot of nonsense.
Well, but the writers don't do the voting either. It's that committee again. So the committee votes for the players and builders, and then the writers vote for the Elmer Ferguson, and we know that fiasco every year.
I think some explanation is in order from this Cockamamie Association to what Réjean Tremblay asserted. And, but we know they won't be. We know there won't be. And so time marches on, and we forget about it. But it certainly was something that should have been addressed beyond what it was.
Definitely.
You should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame, mate, for
no,
sure.
I'm not. I should not be.
Well,
I should not be, because I will tell you why I should not be, okay? Starting, I guess, about 52 years ago, probably before you were born, right? A guy who was then one of the editors of the Hockey News, which I was writing for, submitted my name for the Elmer Ferguson Award. And it was obviously rejected. And from that point on, I guess every year I've been rejected. So that's a record, right? 51 years of rejection. Don't you think I got the hint?
It's wrong.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what I just said?
Yep.
Elena?
Doesn't matter. I disagree.
Don't you think after 51 years I should stop wasting anybody's time?
No, never give up.
Huh? And why do you think? Wait a minute. Why do you think 51 years? I've written a lot of books, and I've been on. They don't give a shit about TV or Emmys, but hey, if I don't qualify, that's good by me. It's good by me, because That means that if I would have to go to Toronto for the ceremonies, and
Yes.
I'd have to meet people who I know who've rejected me year after year after year. So what's the point? What am I, a schmuck? 51 times? Do I not get it? Of course I get it. Who wants it? Who needs it?
I think
But one might say, an active member of this cockamamie organization might want to find out who is on this committee.
Every year it seems to change. We don't know who votes unless we get.
Why don't you know? What is it? What are we talking about? Atomic secrets?
There's a different leadership.
Why do you think we don't know? Why do you think they're hiding?
Because they play games and put in who they want.
Okay. There's your answer, Elena. Okay.
Yep.
If you want, there's one man's answer. He belongs to the group, although he's not interested in it anymore. So total for me, total waste of time, waste of breath. Not even worth discussing, really, because baseball player goes 0 for 3, strikes out. Right? I go 0 for 51.
I would still keep trying.
It's
because the management or the committee changes every year, as Allan said. So
who says who? How do you know they change every year?
I believe different people get the vote each year, but it's based on I don't know what. And I had the vote for.
I'll tell you one story, okay? A friend of mine who covers the Seattle NHL team, the Kraken, okay? So when he heard that I was up for nomination, he volunteered, and he's tried to, a lot of visiting teams are obviously coming into Seattle, and he schmoozes with them. And he said, you should vote for Stan to get to Ferguson, blah, blah, blah. And he tells me a lot of people acknowledge. Then he went up to one person, and when he mentioned my name, I would say she just short of vomited. So there you go. Why would I want to go it's the old Groucho Marx line. I would never join a club that would have me for a member. Let's discuss something more significant, like what the Leafs are going to do with their captain. Okay?
Okay. What do you think they should do?
Trade him.
Okay, and get whom?
Well, then you got to give me a list of who's available.
They probably need a good defenseman. That's what I would do. Most likely they'll draft McKenna. I'd be honestly surprised if they didn't. And I think passing on him would be a huge mistake. I know John Chayka traveled to the Yukon, where McKenna is from. And from what I've heard, they had a really good conversation. So everything seems to point towards drafting McKenna. So I think that's what they're going to do. But they still don't have a particularly strong blue line. And we're probably looking at several more years of Morgan Riley. So that's still an area they need to address.
And they need a new coach.
You don't even have a starting goalie, do you?
Yes, our goaltending hasn't been the most reliable. Stollard seems to get hurt quite often, and Wall has dealt with issues as well. We do have 2 very good goalies with the Marlies, our farm team. I think the Leafs should take a serious look at Dennis Hildeby and Artur Akhtemov. He has been the Marlies' starting goalie, and he's played extremely well. The Marlies are now 1 win away from the Calder Cup Finals, so clearly the organization has some promising goaltending prospects in the pipeline.
Everything you've said so far, Elena, is iffy. It's iffy and a gamble. Just like the draft choice is iffy. We don't know whether he's going to be good or he's not going to be good. But how this new management can start a season without a name goalie is ridiculous.
Yep. Something needs to be done.
They need a goalie. That's what they need.
Everything starts with the goalie, yeah.
Yep.
I think Rangers in a similar situation, right?
Who'd you say?
The Rangers.
The Rangers. One of the things the Rangers did is they gave this guy more money than any other goalie, so they got a good goalie. They got a good goalie, but it's shown that you have a good goalie. He doesn't score goals. He stops pucks. So, what good did this good goalie do for them? He played well. He wasn't outstanding, was he, Allan?
No, he no, mediocre, great at times, not great at all at times. The year before was even worse. Leading up to the contract, he gave up 5 goals, I think 12 times. So two mediocre seasons. I mean, he got hurt this year. That's when they fully went down the drain. But I mean, yeah, he's got a lot to prove based on the numbers. But the team in front of him hasn't been much the last 2 seasons either. So
they're stuck.
They're
stuck. They got this guy. He should be able to play better. But even if he plays better, how much can he do for the offense?
Yeah.
And, they're basically in parallel with the Leafs. The two richest teams in the league have major problems, and we'll see. We'll see. But you see, as we know, the guy who owns the Rangers also owns the Knickerbocker basketball team, and that tends to overshadow any of the Ranger woes because New York City is going crazy over the Knickerbockers,
Yes.
and the Rangers are forgotten.
Completely right now, yes. And that maybe takes the pressure off next year if things don't go well again.
Do you think they have a solid chance next year to make the playoffs, or they have to make major changes?
Definitely need major changes. A mystery right now. I mean, it's been talk, but the roster as constructed, no way that's a playoff team.
They have to. There's talk of them trading with the Leafs for Trocheck. But the point with the Rangers is that they have to go with young guys. The higher scorers are getting old. They're over 30. There's nothing wrong with being over 30. I was over 35 times. And that joke just died, that joke.
I heard it. I heard it.
Anyhow, so what are you going to, if you trade Trocheck, what do the Leafs have to give the Rangers, really? What?
Didn't they check to see if Matthew Knies was available? I heard the Habs tried to acquire him. Thankfully, the deal never went through. They were reportedly offering prospects and draft picks in exchange for Matthew Knies. I'm very happy that the Leafs kept him.
Oh, why should Toronto get? He's what the Leafs' future is about.
Absolutely.
How old is he?
He's 23.
Yeah.
There's a guy on the Rangers with a funny name who's the equal of him.
Jaroslav Chamash scored a few
No,
goals.
but this guy scored 20 goals this year, and he has a funny name.
Which, Will Cooley?
Yeah. So it's trading similar guys. Now, Cooley in Toronto, I think he's from Toronto. He was what was wrong with the Rangers this season. A guy who should have been a 25 goal scorer and should have been an inspiration, playing hard. And for some reason, half the time he was dead from the neck up, and you couldn't. So maybe that's a good trade. You take him, give us Knies, but you don't want to give up Knies, so we just killed that deal. Right?
Tricky. I mean, Jury's got a major challenge. There's so many holes and it's weird karma. The nice, interesting young guys at the end there. Little hope, but the games were meaningless. I mean, I don't know. It's already been forgotten, but there was some glimmers of hope. But who knows?
I think I say you got the right word, karma, and their karma was non-existent in the dressing room,
Yep.
and it was reflected on the ice. They made. I want to ask you a question. I want you to take a guess. So the captain of the team is J.T. Miller. Okay, he's the captain.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think his plus minus was in relation to the other players?
I'm gonna guess. I didn't look. I'm gonna say about negative minus 18, 20, somewhere around there.
Okay, he was supposed to be. He's the captain, right?
Right.
This guy had the worst plus minus on the team. Minus 30, 3-0, minus. So that's what's wrong with the team, okay? They're stuck with a Schlemiel for a captain. Who would you make captain, Alan, instead of this guy? I'd make Adam Fox the captain.
Fox, I mean, he's quiet. I don't know if he wants the role, but in terms of leadership, he quietly gets it done. Someone's got to be willing to take the heat when they lose, and it wears guys down, and not everybody wants the role. Mika doesn't want to talk every night about why they lost, and Kreider was the same, didn't want to analyze every night. I saw that role wear down Callahan, wear down even Ryan McDonough when they were winning. It becomes too much of something. I don't know if it's overblown, but need a certain personality to deal with it in New York. And I don't know, the whole captain thing can be overrated, but still, they're the one that has to stand there every night, win or lose. And JT Miller certainly doesn't embrace that role.
One point is evident. JT Miller is the wrong captain.
Yep.
So you're going to keep riding with the wrong captain. You're going to get the square root of no playoff team.
Right. It was pretty obvious, right? And he just doesn't want to be in that role. He doesn't.
I think some players are great players, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're great captains. The same goes for Austin Matthews. Personally, I don't think he's been a particularly strong captain. I actually think the Leafs should never have taken the C away from John Tavares. I know Stan and I might disagree on that one because I don't think he's the biggest Tavares fan.
Well, I'm glad to know he's still with the team.
He is.
He is.
So he's going to stay. You don't have to worry about Tavares being poor.
No, he's good.
Okay.
He was a good leader. He handled the media well and always seemed comfortable in that role. I don't think Austin Matthews particularly enjoys the spotlight or the pressure that comes with being captain. That's a big part of the job.
Well, let's talk about the playoff, the final now. I want to hear what you guys think about the final. Alena, who's going to win in your mind?
Well, I picked the Hurricanes partly because I wanted to be a little different from everybody else. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Vegas win because I'd love to see Mitch Marner finally lift the Stanley Cup. At the same time, I'd be happy if Carolina won because I'd love to see Freddie Anderson get a cup as well. If I'm being honest, I think Freddie probably deserves it a little bit more. That said, Vegas looks almost unbeatable right now, so I'd be surprised if they lost the series. But anything can happen in hockey. I'm sticking with Carolina, though. I've got the Canes in 7.
Why do you think? Why does Anderson need more of your love than Marner? What did Marner do to hurt your feelings?
Well, he did something similar to what Tavares did with the Islanders. From the Leafs' perspective, if you weren't planning on staying long-term, it probably would have been better to know that earlier. There were some reports that other options were available, like including potentially acquiring a player like Mikko Rantanen. Instead, the Leafs were left in a difficult position, and I think that's why some fans are still frustrated. And now there are some stories coming out in the media. Apparently, Marner has said he'll talk about some of the dark times he experienced in Toronto, but only if Vegas wins the Stanley Cup. Personally, I find that a little unusual. If there's a story to tell, why should the outcome of the final determine whether we hear it?
Okay. Who's going to win, Alan?
I like storylines on both teams. I feel like Carolina somehow wear them down. I don't know how to fully elaborate that, but it's just a feeling. The four lines are relentless. They find their footing after an off game. They've only lost twice in these playoffs. Rod Brindamore seems to have struck a chord with this group. Logan Stankoven, these newer players it's a different feeling than previous teams that couldn't get this far. And the goalie's hot, and they're finding ways. They're finding ways after some hiccups, but not too many hiccups. So it leads me to think they can somehow wear down Vegas just enough and score enough big goals. But it goes at least 6, maybe 7. It's going to go long.
Anderson to me is the key, and he's played well, better than I thought he would. But we've only seen 2 games, so I say if Anderson is up to the challenge, Canes will win. And Hart will have to play, Hart is basically, he's inexperienced compared to Anderson. But Anderson's history is losing.
Right. This is his probably one chance to do it all, 36, with all the injuries and the other complications. It's a lot. It's got to be his one and only, I would think. I mean, they have a 32-win goalie who hasn't played a minute in the playoffs backing up. The guy practically was Vezina quality this year, Brandon Bussey. So they have the backup, but
the backup is very good, very, very good. But I'd say the other difference in my mind is that Tortorella is a better coach than Brindamore. And this will either prove me right or wrong.
And it would be amazing, 22 years apart. That would be the longest stretch for coach cap-wise.
He's something that Brindamore isn't. He's a character.
Yeah.
You need characters in hockey.
Yep.
And he's a character. Brindamore is not, in my estimation.
Yeah, I think he's very effective in the short term. That's what Vegas did, right? They brought him in with a specific job to do, and it's working. They needed to change the momentum and shake things up a little bit. They were getting close to missing the playoffs, so they made a coaching change, and it seems to have paid off. That was a great move. Vegas has never been afraid to make bold decisions. They're known for making quick, effective moves when they think something needs to change. And this is just another example of that.
I wonder if he even wants to go through the grind of the season all over again. I wonder if win or lose, this is it. It's just
exactly.
He may not. He may not. So, but the point is, he's there now, and he's getting paid to win, and we'll see.
And they seem like their mood lightened. They're just loose. They're playing with house money or something. They're just playing their game without. I don't think they had time to get or him to get under their skin or vice versa. He just came in and said, "Look, I'm coaching with you, not at you." I heard him say that, and he's just it's definitely a mellower torch from what I can see from a distance than I saw in New York or every other stop. He's got a few players that he had in the past. They're winning. He's had this great comeback couple of months. Just sort of happened, and here they are. So I don't feel like he's had time to really yell at them or get into it. He's just letting them be, and the results are obvious. And they're a veteran team that knows how to win and play under pressure. So no surprise. I mean, sweeping Colorado is remarkable unto itself.
Yeah.
Again, the President's Trophy curse lives.
Alena, who do you want to coach the Leafs?
Cassidy, Cooper is not available, but they're my first 2 choices.
What about Patrick Roy?
That would be incredible as well. Yeah, I heard they had an interview with him and it went well. So I don't know if they're still deciding whether to hire him.
What about Laviolette? Didn't he get interviewed also?
He was interviewed as well, yes.
Well, if you had to pick between those 2, who would you pick?
Patrick Roy, I would go with him.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fascinating.
That would be interesting. Complete change of the entire management team, coaching staff, and everything else. And we're getting the first pick. Yay! I don't know. I want to see it. I don't want to get my hopes too high, but I'm still hopeful that it's going to change the team a little bit.
Well, I take Laviolette.
Why?
Patrick Roy let the Islanders self-destruct at the end. It was clear that he lost the team. Didn't Laviolette win a President's Trophy?
Yeah,
He
he did.
did.
Isn't there some points you get for that?
It should
Absolutely.
be. But the second year wasn't. So
And Cassidy doesn't have any right to talk to anybody.
He's in
He's
Vegas
not.
prison.
Huh? What?
He's imprisoned by Vegas.
He signed it, right?
yep.
Yes, true.
Okay.
And he's getting paid. So
Right. I
yeah.
mean, we'll see. It's very intriguing, and there's going to be some interesting stuff. The Islanders are going to be doing some trading. I'm sure of that. I don't know whether they're going to sign Anders Lee or not, but I have a feeling that if Lee is smart, he will do a team-friendly deal.
Right. Yes. Agree. I feel like he's the one veteran they should keep out of the options there. And
Yeah, but not to pay him crazy money.
right. Something team friendly, but they're also stuck with Braden Shen, $6.5 million, and Andre Palat, $6 million. I mean, that's sort of hamstringing it right now. What do they do?
That's a whack against the GM.
Yep. I think the trades were not great in retrospect. The Palat trade in particular was.
No, it didn't work.
So, but they're stuck with a big number now.
He's these guys. He ain't going to be there forever if he doesn't straighten it out.
Right.
No question about that.
Proves how hard the job is. It's a tough job in any situation. But my theory is they were so excited with the greatness of Matthew Schaefer and what he brought, and that's valid. And he's had a fabulous season at 8, all that to look forward to. But I think they got a little ahead of themselves with the playoff balloon hovering above them, and went for it where they probably should have said, okay, let's not roll all the dice here and build on next year. And he was so good they couldn't resist. That's my theory, because no one expected that kind of season from him. But now they sort of overextended to a degree cap wise.
Patrick Waugh made a critical mistake. He overplayed Sorokin, and he had his backup was a competent guy.
Yep.
What was he afraid of?
I don't know. Yeah, that was
decisive.
They hit some kind of wall in early March. There were a few bad late losses, and it just spiraled.
What are you tiring the guy out? When you got a guy, you're paying him decent money, and he's an experienced goalie.
He was
not a kid, but that's Elena. We're smarter than them in a lot of ways, but we should get a cut when we tell them something that works. We should get a cut.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I agree. Yes, they should hire us. Yes.
There'll be a new three-headed management group. Yes.
I was reading Punch Imlach's his Leafs experience. One is hockey is my life. I think was one of them, but it doesn't matter. But Imlach was from the era before the modern era. And one of his Hockey's a Battle. That's the name of the book. Hockey's a Battle, and there's the cover on the book is Punch walking behind his bench. Great photo. But my point is, no assistant coaches, and they're holding things and they're showing this to these guys, and then and they got people upstairs. And I wonder if somebody tried that for a season or a month or so. But he won 4 cups. And he didn't have one guy who was assistant coach or assistant GM. He did it all by himself.
Amazing. Right now,
4 cups.
this legion of people. I mean, every bench has 5 coaches, everybody coaching this, coaching that. I don't know how not enough room for everybody back there. I've counted some nights with some teams, plus the trainers. There's like 12 guys back there. It's Looney Tunes. This defensive coach, the power play, I mean, the coach.
Looney Tunes is a very, very apt description.
Might as well have the road.
Looney Tunes and merry melodies.
I mean, the Rangers had 4 or 5 coaches. I couldn't figure it out some nights, and I'm watching, and they're plotting it on the screens and on the iPads, on the erasable screens, and nothing.
I just wrote something today commending the Rangers. You have to wonder, what is there to commend the Rangers for? And they just announced that they hired a head coach for their farm team in Hartford, the Wolfpack.
Yes.
And they hired a guy that I like a lot. His name is Jay Leach. Now, why would I like a guy named Jay Leach? He played for the Devils. And there are some guys, you know, when the Devils had their wonderful run of 3 Stanley Cups, their defense was pretty well set. You know, you had Scott Stevens and you had Scotty Niedermayer, and then you had Kenny Danico, and then you had some other good guys, right? Remember anybody else besides Danico, Stevens, Niedermayer? Bruce Driver was wonderful, all right? They were set. So Jay Leach went to Providence. Lou Glamorello, of course, was the great hockey guy at Providence for so long, and he brought up Jay. And I really liked the way he played. There were 2 guys, one Jay Leach, and I can't even think the other guy's name because he was a cup of coffee. But in the short time that Jay was with the Devils, I got to like him as a player, like him as a guy. And he wound up into the coaching business. So I like the fact that he's going to be coaching Hartford. They need it. Hartford was terrible this past season.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So
I wrote a column today commending Chris Drury for hiring this guy.
When Leach was a Devil, they had Paul Martin, they had Colin White, Bryce Salvador, a few other.
Yeah, they had good guys, and
Duya was on that team.
But the point is, I don't follow too many other guys who were like up for a cup of coffee, but there was something about him. In fact, when I found out that he was going to Seattle, I contacted my guy there and tell him to say hello. So we'll see what happens. I mean, anything that the Rangers can do to improve themselves, they need.
Yes.
Certainly the way Hartford was terrible so last year. Still this year.
Not, I mean, because it rarely have players really gone there and excelled and then come up and excelled. It's like this wasteland. So maybe better. I mean, Sikora and Shemesh were the only 2 that showed something after extended time in Hartford last year. So we'll see. But the team wasn't good, and I don't know. Never hear much excitement out of Hartford. Fans don't go, and feel like I've always for years felt like the team should be closer to New York City, but that's another story.
Where would you put it?
Maybe in Bridgeport, where there's now not a team. That long running show, it's closer. It's Connecticut's more Ranger country than the Islanders would have been. Now with the Islander farm team in Hamilton, why not Bridgeport? But
yeah, why not?
Why not? The arena,
nice rink.
Easy to get to. So Hartford's really tilts toward Boston more than New York always has. Strange for years, but yeah, good hire. I like it. And I assume there'll be some confluence with the Rangers high command and Hartford, maybe more so than there had been.
Well, if the team goes right through the bottom of the league, you can be sure that the present coach is going to be there all season.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe this guy will wind up with the Rangers. You can never tell.
can never
We
tell.
we know from the Buffalo experience that you got to give the team at least until Christmas to be definitive.
Right. Right. I mean, Sullivan, needs another year for sure. He's on a 5-year contract. Yeah, but I mean, another disaster, and who knows? I mean, we'll see.
At least the Knicks are doing well.
Well,
you
the
think-
Knicks doing well could have a double effect, one good or bad. The good effect is that the guy who owns the Garden, Jim Dolan, he loves baskets. He's more basket than hockey. But now that he's got a successful basketball team, he may feel, well, now I got to lift the Rangers up. Okay? So it's a good incentive, motivation there. On the flip side, he could say, what the hell? Why am I wasting my team with the Rangers? We're going to sell out every game anyhow.
Right.
Yeah, true.
So what the hell does he care? So it depends on how he views it. And as we know, he can go either way.
Right. Right.
Do you think they took the focus away from hockey and just focused on basketball?
No, New York's hockey fans are entrenched, especially the Rangers, because the Rangers get all the corporate loot.
That's true.
And it's guaranteed. Guaranteed. I still say that if you can get 20 cockroaches to teach them how to skate and stick handle, they'll still sell out the joint, okay?
And a cockroach play goal.
I'll leave you with one story before we get to the joke, okay? When they decided they're going to put a team in New Jersey, John McMullen was the billionaire, or whatever you want to say. He owned the franchise out in Denver, which was a failure. He bought the team, and he was told over and over and over again, you're going to make money on this Devils team. We hadn't named him yet. You're going to make money on this team because all these Ranger fans who live in New Jersey, now they're going to come over and root for your Devils. Well, you know what? It didn't happen. So somebody once asked McMullen about 5 or 6 years after, now he had the franchise and he was starting to play. But, hey, John, how come you didn't get all these Ranger fans? What's the reason? And McMullen, who was a very, very funny guy and a very smart guy, he says the reason is simple. It's genetic. It's in their genes. It's passed on from the grandfather to the father to the kids. And what better proof of that is Adam Fox. He grows up in Long Island, right in the midst of Islander country, but his grandfather, who I met incidentally a couple of weeks ago, 99 years old, his grandfather came to visit in Israel.
Incredible.
Mel Fox still got a lot of piss and vinegar. So Mel Fox told me he's the grandfather of Adam. Mel Fox groomed his son to be a Ranger fan, which of course he became. And Fox's father made Adam a Ranger fan. Genetic. John McMullen was right 100%. But now, the Devils have built up under McMullen, or rather under Lou Lamoriello. Devils built themselves a nice clientele, a very nice clientele.
Indeed.
We're coming towards the end of the show. Maeve, do you have a joke for us?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether I should tell you a doctor joke or not. This is Joey Adams told us. Well, I'll tell you. Tell me what you think. He says, the thing that bothers me about doctors is that they give you an appointment 6 weeks ahead, then they examine you, and then they ask, why did you wait so long to see me? Okay. See you, Alan.
You too, Stan.
Been a pleasure. To
Best.
everyone watching and listening, please subscribe, like, and follow us on social media. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Bottle Rocket.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.